Hello, my name is Paula Herlock. Welcome to my channel. And today is the day before February begins, and it's really important. I think I really should have given this message from during the week, but the week was a little tied up. So here I am, just sharing with you some of my insights into February 2026. And the reason why I'm sharing the insights is because I know with every certainty that February is going to be intense. And I know it from the astrological forecasts and the global weather patterns that we are all experiencing at this time. Now, the polar vortex has passed, and I think it's been a lot better than they forecasted it would be. And I'm very, very grateful to see that. I know there's been a lot of, chaos and mayhem and tragedy around it. But when we consider that over 200 million people would have been affected by that polar vortex, the casualty numbers are nowhere nearly as high as they could have been. So we are happy. During that polar vortex, there was a group of us, of course, from the Heaven on Earth community that were doing nightly meditations around stabilizing that situation. And I think that's probably what's leading to low casualty numbers with all the global um, phenomena, weather phenomena, anomalous weather phenomena that's taking place. We are grateful that it's not as bad as it could be, which leads me to the entire reason for this video. We are being called at this time to not awaken, because a lot of you who watch these videos are already on the awakening journey and have been for a number of years, some people as long as a decade, some people 2 decades. What is required at this time is that we who have been on this journey prepare ourselves to step into the new earth leadership role. And I'll explain why. What is about to unfold on this planet is going to be intense. It's the kind of series of scenarios that could make people lose their minds. We who understand and have been watching the unfolding are going to understand what is happening. But for those people who have no clue, they are going to be caught flat-footed. They are going to be overwhelmed by the severity of, of things that will be unfolding. So there are astrologers that believe that there's going to be another government shutdown, perhaps in February. We saw what happened with silver last week. So a lot of people are still on the trajectory of amassing wealth and getting rich quickly. And then these things happen that completely wipe out large sums of money. So again, they're getting caught in those patterns and cycles. Some of them are going to lose their minds when they lose everything. Also, there's predictions of another pandemic, another virus that is going to run rampant all over the planet again, leading to lockdowns, leading to restrictions in travel, leading to wearing masks, and perhaps even leading again to another scenario where there's going to be mandatory vaccinations. Those things are also going to cause people to be triggered, people to be angry, people to feel powerless, because again, they're going to paint a picture of a virus that is 60% fatal and all of those kinds of things. Again, the ones of us who know that this is a playbook are the ones that will be able to help people who are going to go into panic and go into despair. We're going to be the ones that are helping them to understand, do not panic, do not be in despair. We're going to be the ones who remain neutral, who understand that we cannot live in fear, but rather we should proceed with love, with a spirit of unity, and with a spirit of support for our fellow brothers and sisters, right? So when I say stepping into your new earth leadership roles, I simply mean being able to stand in the gap and be a form of support for the people around you, being able to understand the sequence of events leading up to the events that do unfold. Again, there are wars and rumors of wars daily, daily. They don't seem to ever happen, but it causes a certain amount of panic to go through various populations. But by now, everybody who's listening to me understands that these powers that be that are manipulating the current realities are in fact harvesting the fear, the panic, and the despair of the masses. And so it is us that have to explain to them that they don't have to do that and to offer them alternatives. Another thing that has come up is this thing of a loneliness pandemic. And I know that that's a stretch, but we've been seeing instances of people being in an office and being complete strangers with everybody around them, people being members of a family and being alone, not having anyone to be able to speak to confide in, even though they're surrounded by family members. We're seeing instances of young people being immersed, so immersed in technology that they've disconnected from the outside world. They have no friends. They do not interact with their parents. Things like this. It's going to be even more prevalent in the coming months. We are called to be calm. We are called to be wise. We are called to continue to anchor in our light, strengthen our energy field, our light body, strengthen our physical body. In coming months, I would say in coming days/weeks, it is imperative that all of us, anybody hearing this message, needs to immediately get on a program to strengthen their body, their physical bodies, through detox, through proper nourishing of the body with good food, fruits and vegetables, alkaline foods, herbal teas, detox protocols, all of those things so that your body and its immune system are strong, so it's able to face whatever form the next virus takes. If you are healthy, you're always going to be able to stand against whatever comes, right? With this polar vortex, there are lots of people who are going to be having flu and flu-like symptoms, right? They're talking about the air being sprayed. They're talking about the snow that was falling, being contaminated with things like lithium. So many things are happening. But the healthier and stronger you are, and the clearer your mind is, third eye and crown, the stronger those are, is the more immune you will be to the diseases and to the events that are unfolding. Okay, so purchase your colloidal silver, get your detox herbs, you know things like blue vervain are also very good to have on hand. Make sure you have your menthol crystals so you can do your steams with your menthol crystals, or your eucalyptus oil. Make sure you have certain of the more popular essential oils so that you can help yourself if there is a crisis and you cannot get yourself to, healthcare services. You all really need to take responsibility for your own health and well-being, because things are going to be going downhill. And it's not that I'm trying to be a predictor of doom and gloom. We see what's happening on social media all the time, healthcare, with eyes, with so many things. Yeah? Put yourself in a situation where you are able to take care of yourself and your family. So, whatever it takes, the time to act is now. Do not wait until we have a crisis and then you are not able to make a certain move or take a certain action, right? You should have stockpiles of food by now, stockpiles of water, stockpiles of fuel. Behave like a prepper. Do not be ashamed, because this is the moment where you are going to be required to take care of yourself and your family. And success is where, preparation, meets problem. Yeah. So do not be ashamed of being a prepper. Go find some prepping stuff online. There's lots of information online about even the types of seeds to have, if you're going to travel and settle somewhere, be off grid, kinds of seeds that you need to plant that will give you some food in a very short space of time, how to keep a room warm with candles and clay pots, little things like that. Get yourself up to scratch on those things. It's not going to hurt. Even here in Jamaica, I'm in Jamaica and it's tropical, and I'm like, okay, I can always get this tree and that tree. But we saw what a hurricane was able to do overnight. Overnight, we had zero food security. So all of us should be preparing so that we are able to function in the event of a natural disaster in or around the locality where we currently live. Right? So, solar generators, battery pack, so that you can charge up your devices, so you might be able to communicate with family members. There's also ways that you can get familiar with the settings on your device, so that if the internet goes down or the power grids go down, you can actually connect with a satellite and be able to do a phone call or two. So many things that we all need to be looking at. I also highly recommend that you get yourself, if you're not yet started, on a set of herbs that have blood thinning qualities. Just type it in, blood thinning herbs, and drink that as your tea, your morning tea. You know, check if there are any restrictions in terms of the number of days that you can drink a tea For example, lemongrass and mint are teas that you can drink every morning and there would be no problem, right? So look into the teas that you can drink that will calm your nervous system, promote digestion, and also, are alkaline so they thin the blood, right? And this is, of course, if you're not taking any other kind of medication. All right. Also, start to do your research right now on the natural sources of some of the medications that you might be on, just in case the the shop and pharmaceutical system goes down and you're not able to get your drugs. You know um, what fruits or vegetables the main ingredients are naturally found in. Okay? Start doing those kinds of research so that you are empowered to function whether or not the system is functioning. Okay? Remember, we are now going into the period where the timelines will be collapsing, the systems are going to be crashing, and you don't want to be caught unprepared. Since we know, then we need to do the requisite things to prepare ourselves. Okay? If the grid goes down, what do you do? How do you take care of yourself and your family? Can you drive without a GPS navigation system? Should you be relocating now out of the city so that even if stuff happens in the densely populated areas, you live in the suburbs and you're able to function, right? Remember, lots of cities and communities in North America and Canada and even some parts of the UK are food deserts. That means they don't have large supermarkets and and markets near their neighborhoods. They have to travel out 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get food. So if that's the case, you need to stockpile some food because there will come a time when you're going to have to be choosing between gas for the car, food for the house, right? So think about all those things, stockpile what you can. When you can, make sure you always have a bug out bag, they call them, so that you can grab and go. Your documents are in there and you have some food and first aid kits and light and a raincoat and something warm to wear. Okay? So, in addition to all of that, what are New Earth leaders supposed to do? Well, New Earth leaders don't just come about because we feel like we need to be the leaders. They come about because a situation happens that creates a space for them to step up, right? So you don't wait until there's a crisis. You start to prepare yourselves, your mind, your body, and your spirit to be able to survive if things get complicated, if things get intense. And the only way to prepare for that is to ensure that you are currently meditating very regularly, that you're able to practice stillness and practice stillness in the midst of chaos. Keep your head screwed on and know what is happening so that you can advise both family members and colleagues and neighbors as to what the next steps are, you should know a little bit of everything. Know a little bit about the herbs, know a little bit about first aid, know a little bit about finding your way. If you have to um, travel large expanses of territory, of the road networks. But the main thing that New Earth leaders are required to understand is what is actually happening. And what is happening is that there is a splitting of the timeline where some people are going to be choosing New Earth and some people are going to be choosing the New World Order. The ones that are pushing the New World Order agenda are pushing hard. They're the ones that are going to try to uh, create martial law. They're the ones who are going to try to create oppression. They're going to be the ones who are trying to create chaos. They're the ones that are doing the geoengineering that's causing all the weather anomalies all over the world. They're the ones that want to cull the population. They're the ones that want to um, just create famine and food shortages. I hear also that Oxford in London or in England has successfully implemented their first 15-minute city, utilizing, of course, digital IDs and AI technology. On the face of it, it sounds great, efficient, managed. But for those of us that know, that is another form of slavery, oppression, and suppression. And so we are going to be the ones who may have to explain to a few people that this may not serve them, and it might be best to leave a particular scenario before things get out of hand. So we do have a huge role to play. And mid-February, I'm planning to offer New Earth leadership training that will go from March until June. So March, April, May, June. And the registration for that will open in early February so that we are ready to go. And a lot of people might say, what she going to teach? What are we going to do? Guys, I'm working on the curriculum now. And I normally don't do things unless they are necessary or I feel that they will have value to people going forward. So this is not something that I found in a book or anything. This is just something that I'm intuiting because, like you, I am also observing. I am doing the pattern recognition, and I'm also utilizing some of the wisdom that I've garnered over the years and compiling it in such a way that I will be able to share it and you'll be able to benefit the people that you may end up being around. All right. In terms of my message, that brings us to the end. Keep watching the space to see more about the New Earth leadership training because I think it's important. And I think it will make a big difference for the group of people that you may be around. Remember, not only are New Earth leaders supposed to shine their light and be beacons or transmitters of light, but there are things that they may be able to offer or teach to the group around them that may make the difference between thriving and surviving. And of course, in New Earth, we are all planning to thrive. We are all planning to live heaven on earth, no matter what else is unfolding. Remember, there's going to be two realities running parallel. And depending on your consciousness level and the state of your energy field and the levels of discernment that you have and the levels of connection that you have to divine source, you will be in one or the other. Our desire, of course, is that as many people that we know and love are taking part in New Earth rather than the New World Order. It's ultimately their choice. Everyone is going to have to choose. So some people will choose, but they won't have enough information. And that's where we come in to just help them to situate themselves comfortably on the New Earth timeline. So keep watching this space and I will share the information. In another couple of days, we will have the next portal meditation, the 12-12 portal meditation will be on February 3rd, Tuesday, February 3rd. I also want to invite everybody to be, as many people to be there for that meditation. And we're wrapping up the 13-month year. 13 months will be the first half, the last part of February, the first part of March, and then we're going to be going into the spring equinox. So we're going into a very potent period. And the more of us that are geared up spiritually to tap into those energetic portals, the better it is. We also need to keep remembering that we have control over the disasters that are happening in our locality. The stronger our energy field is, the safer we'll be. So we're going to practice again on Tuesday, strengthening our energy field so that we are all safe during any of the natural disasters which they say will continue to unfold. Ring of Fire is still active. The solar flares are still happening. Earthquakes, seismic activity has not ceased. There were some people predicting that there was definitely going to be something by the end of the month on the West Coast. Here in Jamaica, we've had 2 small tremors this week alone. So we're all supposed to be on hyper alert with respect to all of these things. And the more grounded we are, is the higher the probability that we will be safe no matter what the disaster is. So we need a critical mass of individuals that understand this, that are committed to raising their vibration so that there is a safety bubble around them and their family members and their home and their neighborhood. Okay, so I will see everyone hopefully on Tuesday, February 3 for the 12-12 meditation. As well, we are going to be doing a monthly new moon crystal grid activation. I was doing those privately within the Heaven on Earth community, online community, but I will be offering them externally, and I will be sharing the details for that. So look out for a very active February and March on this channel, and in terms of activities that we will do to strengthen the New Earth collective that is getting ready to level up their game and unlock the newest level and step into their roles of New Earth leaders.